great to be with you. I'm going to start off our discussion. I'll be followed by Caitlin Lewis and then Destiny Garcia, and then I'll come back for questions with us later. But I want to share just general excitement that I have today in terms of this wonderful partnership that the City of Kansas City has in collaboration with Work for America. We've recognized that there are not only thousands, but probably hundreds of thousands of government employees around the country who are dedicated to serving their communities, towns, state governments, and the federal government. And we also recognize that there are a lot of people who may be transitioning out of federal government employment. What we wanted to make clear to them was an opportunity with cities like Kansas City. It was probably over a year ago now that I talked to Ms. Lewis and her team at Work for America about what we could do to help solve sometimes employment gaps that we have at the city. We have always been in a position where we want to get the best possible talent, and we want to make sure they know of the diverse array of opportunities that exist at city halls like this one and in local governments like this one. I also note that Kansas City is often a leader, not just in football wins, not just in getting the World Cup, not just in some of what we're doing on affordable housing development, but also in how we build a workforce for tomorrow. So working with Work for America, we're able to do that, and we're able to have great people who can be partners with good folks like Destiny and so many others. Just to note a few things. Earlier today, I had the chance to sit in a workshop with 16 of our city employees, and I want to make sure I note that they inspired me. It was a reminder that our people are our biggest asset and our best recruiters. The second we had heard about Civic Match, we were hooked, and it made perfect sense for a city like Kansas City, home to more than 30,000 federal workers. We knew that there was talent right here in the region, and we wanted them to make sure they stayed. We've already used the platform to post 17 roles across 5 departments in Kansas City. We've hired Mark Shaw, who was our interim city auditor, who came to us after a long and dedicated career in the United States Department of State. But what we're announcing today, Spotlight Cities, is something we've been dreaming of since we first talked to Civic Match. And why does this matter? We've often struggled, like many American cities, to get the right talent into the right roles. Whether it's 911 dispatch, city planning, or other areas, we've made progress, but we know that we need more capacity to recruit, hire, and retain great people. And so in connection with what we're doing today, and I'll put Ms. Lewis on to share more about it, but what we believe that we'll be able to do in terms of being a spotlight city is some of the following. Making sure that the Civic Match platform is something that works and relates to what we're doing at City Hall HR. Sometimes it's tough to get through our website and that of tons of other cities. So having a national platform, much like some of us had for a common application in college some years ago, is something that makes this process more efficient, more effective for everyone. The other thing that we want to make clear for displaced employees, or frankly those who are just looking for change or stability or some level of comfort and respect that we can provide here at City Hall, is to say that we have an easy way for you to interface with us, to learn about opportunities, and frankly, for you to learn a lot more about what we do at Kansas City government each day. I've been affiliated with City Hall now for about 10 years. Before that I was on a board, so I guess it's almost 14 years. And in that I have continued to learn lots of things. But the way that I've been able to learn that is through experience with the folks who are here. What we're trying to do now is demystify City Hall. You don't have to come here, you don't have to know everything about the building, you don't have to know someone special to know that there may be a great position for you. So thank you to Civic Match for helping us not just sell Kansas City, but helping us better serve Kansas City. To describe more of that for us is Caitlin Lewis from Work for America with us today. Caitlin.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you, Mayor Lucas, and good afternoon. I'm Caitlin Lewis. I'm the Executive Director of Work for America. We are very proud to announce today that Kansas City is the very first Spotlight City in America and the first city in the country to launch a partnership of this kind to keep great public servants in public service. So why did we choose to start here in Kansas City? It really came down to 3 things. Kansas City has a large and talented federal workforce. As the mayor mentioned, there are nearly 30,000 federal workers in the region, and many of them are currently experiencing unemployment. Kansas City also has a real hunger and bias towards action when it comes to attracting top talent into local government. You can feel it when you're walking through City Hall. And then Kansas City has really strong and visible city leadership in the mayor and the folks who work for KCMO, and they're willing to both think fast and long term. So I want to take you back to how this started. Mayor Lucas referenced about a year ago, I met the mayor and he immediately told me how passionate he is about bringing great Kansas Cityans back to the city to serve. And that day he was with two staffers who were living proof of that vision. Both had left Kansas City but had returned home to work in city government. And so it was really clear to me that the mayor was not just talk, he was actually living this vision that he had set forth for the city. So it was no surprise that when we launched Civic Match, Kansas City was the first city to sign up. Work for America's rapid response platform is called Civic Match, and we help connect displaced talent from the federal government to city and state governments across the country. We're helping 11,000 workers at this point across America, many of whom are interested in relocating to places like Kansas City. So when the mass layoffs at the IRS happened in February, Mayor Lucas's team called immediately. They wanted to make sure that those workers knew that Kansas City was a place that was going to help them land on their feet. And so together we got the word out to local media, we ran some targeted ads, and as a result of that effort, Kansas City is now one of the most represented regions on the Civic Match platform, and it's been a true pleasure to work with the city. The results speak for themselves. The mayor mentioned that the city has hired for 17 roles across 5 departments, including Mark Shaw, the city's interim auditor, who we see as a poster child for this effort. Not only did he realize that his federal skills may not intuitively translate to city government, he was able to think about how a career in compliance and risk was actually quite relevant to being a city auditor. And he is now hiring his team on the Civic Match platform and helping to mentor other federal workers who are trying to figure out how to translate their experience to municipal government. So that brings us today, which is the next chapter of this partnership. Of the Civic Match users who are from Kansas City, we know about half of them still live here, but 89% want to work in Kansas City. So this is a real opportunity to bring that talent home. And our Spotlight Cities program is designed to do just that. Spotlight Cities is focused on telling a better story about what it means to work in local government. Today, as the mayor mentioned, we brought together 16 city employees for a Why Here, Why Now workshop, which was a space to define in their own words what makes working for Kansas City meaningful. We're helping to capture not just the tangible benefits like retirement and vacation and benefits, but also the intangible ones that we've heard so much about today, including pride and purpose and impact. We're also producing some recruitment content that the city will be able to use for ongoing recruitment efforts, not just of outgoing federal workers, but other folks throughout the Kansas City region who want to work for the city. And we want every Kansas City employee to be able to say with confidence, this is why I work here and you should too. So with that, I'm very excited to pass it over to a fabulous Kansas City employee who I had the chance to meet today as a part of our workshop. I'm going to call up Destiny Garcia, who's an administrative officer for the Kansas City Water Department.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Destiny Garcia. I work for the City of Kansas City. I am administrative officer. I was born and raised in Kansas City, and I have a passion to serve internal and external employees and customers in my city and make an encouraging and positive impact in my community. Today, I attended the workshop and I left my coworkers, the 15 others that attended. I encourage them to keep going, make a positive impact. It starts with ourselves, and make a brighter future for City of Kansas City employees. And I want to thank Boss Man Quentin for even introducing us city employees to this great program that they are doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Let's give her a shout out. Thank you. And by the way, the new title is Boss Man Quentin. So y'all better learn. Right, exactly. No, that's what we need to do. No, exciting. I mean, thrilling opportunity for Kansas City. You always hear about how we need more workers, how we want to make sure they're workers who know that they're loved and appreciated. And I think there has not been a better marrying of what we've been trying to do at City Hall for my whole time here. Brief vignette, and then I'll get to any questions you might have. When you first get elected mayor of any major American city, the first thing you need to do is all this staffing up, but nobody tells you exactly how to do it. And so you don't just want to call your mama's cousin's friend, right? You want to make sure that you're actually building real talent. And so while we certainly recognize that there are acute challenges in this moment of a lot of federal workers feeling instability where they are, this is something that isn't just a temporary solution. This is something that is a long-term way to address a concern that myself and other American mayors have been thinking and talking about for generations. And that is, how do we make sure people know of all of the great work and the great support they can have at city halls across America? So we are thrilled by this opportunity, look forward to building it out even more and having more great people who will join Destiny over the years ahead. Any questions for any of you?